Hey, welcome to Ag Shorts. This is Calen Carpenter. With me is my father, Brandon. This is going to be a topic within 5 minutes. And the question is, I got to remember, hold on a second. All right, predators and ag. what's the issue with predators? What kind of predators do we face, especially in South Central Montana? And how do we handle them? Go.
Packers. Packers are our biggest predator. Politicians are the other one.
Yes.
Yeah, they're horrible. Should have a bounty on them. But anyway, our biggest predators really for us personally are coyote. Um, we've got some other ones that you don't think is predators as much, but they're more competition is, prairie dog, grasshoppers competition, but they're not predators. We don't have many wolves, but we do have some wolves down here. Even though the Fish and Game denies it and doesn't want to pay for anything, they're there. We've seen them. We've taken care of such problems on our own. Catch us if you can. Then you work a little bit more towards the mountains, and you get a little bit more bear issues, particularly grizzly bear. We've had some right in the mountains just north of us this year, grizzly bear killing cows. And so that's a big issue. Sheep, coyotes, wolves, bears, even black bears on sheep are a big deal. We of course don't raise sheep, but they're still a predator. They're still competing and taking some livelihood out of some people's mouths. So
how about mountain lions?
Mountain lion occasionally, but we haven't had that much. Where we're at, we have, but nothing that's been anything to really worry about. But there are a lot of lion kills in some areas. A lion will eat 2 to 3 year kill and eat 2 to 3 deer a week. So when they're predating on calves or lambs, that's a big old hit. So those are really the big ones. There's not a lot other than that, but there's a lot of them, and they're very elusive. They're hard to deal with. Grizzly bears are protected, so you got the state and the feds. When you knock a grizzly bear down because he's eating on your cow, you almost have to have tooth marks in your rifle butt in order to justify that. They have no qualms at all about taking a guy to task about that. A lot of times they're good about it. Depends on who you get. Depends on what their view on it is. There's some real personality that's put into some of that. Wolves the same way. They're protected. You can hunt them, but they're protected. So there's a season for them. You got to have a license, all that, but you're still a predator. And then coyotes, of course, are they're fair game. They're whatever they can get, as many as you can get, how often you can get. And like right now, I'm afraid to shoot at a coyote because it's so dry. I don't need to spark a fire, with a bullet, and that's an issue. So they get smart. They know when they're hunted and when they're not. And we got plenty of them around. We got a lot of them around, and haven't lost any calves this year to coyotes, but only, a little bit of luck, and I'm out there a lot too. So that does help.
Is there a standard percentage of the population for your herd, whether it's sheep or cattle or anything else, that farmers and ranchers tend to kind of put in their mind of, hey, this might be a loss this year just based off of predators?
That's a good question. I think it depends on where you're at. It depends on what the
Yep.
predator is, the time of year. I mean, there's a lot of things that I think if you look at us, what we've had for death caused by coyote, we're probably 1.5%, somewhere in there as an average loss due to coyote, maybe up to 2% some years.
And then I'd say wolves fluctuate based off of herd size with horses and how
Yep.
often we have them come through. But
Yeah, and I'm thinking mostly cattle, but yeah, we've lost some horses to the wolves, and of course they absolutely deny that one, but it was not very deniable. They just didn't want to deal with us or admit that they were in the area. But that was we got a couple of those happen, and of course that's hard to say over the last years. It's going to be less than 1%, but the value of that animal is a hell of a lot higher than a calf is too.
yeah.
So
Well,
what's the cost monetarily?
with that's under 5 minutes. That's predators. That's Montana.
Packers, politicians.